Hello and welcome to Threefold Herbal Healing. I'm herbalist Leo Sade. I help people who struggle with chronic conditions grow their health from the roots up. Today I'm going to speak about Cascara Sagrada, a herb that is commonly used for constipation. But before I'm going to speak, I want to remind us that this video is for educational purposes only and is not meant to diagnose, heal, or treat any specific condition. So let's talk about constipation and Cascara Sagrada. Constipation is a symptom. It's actually not a condition by itself. It's a symptom that have multiple root causes. So the care plan for constipation really should address the type of constipation you have. And Cascara Sagrada is specifically for constipation that arise from relaxed muscles. When the muscles in the colon are not able to contract and relax, to have this peristalsis movement of contraction and relaxing in an efficient way that send the stool down the colon into the rectum and into the exit of the body. So what we have this peristalsis, I always think about it like a snake swallowing a frog and it's moving in the through his body by contracting and relaxing. That's how peristalsis looks. But when the body doesn't have the ability to contract, when the smooth muscle around the colon can't efficiently contract, that movement is not effective. And that is where Cascara Sagrada comes. What does it do? Cascara Sagrada contain anthraquinins. Those are chemicals, compounds that don't break down in the stomach and in the small intestines. So they arrive at the colon mostly intact. The same way they came into the mouth, they arrive in the colon. However, in the colon, gut bacteria and gut bacteria metabolites activate anthraquinins, and the compounds that comes out of that activation irritate the mucous membrane in the colon. When mucous membrane are irritated, the, the muscles around the colon starts to spasm. And that spasmodic reaction to the anthraquinin, once they are activated, propel the stool downward toward the exit. Another pathway of or mechanism that Cascara Sagrada work through, and that's again those anthraquinin, is preventing water or fluid absorption by the colon walls. So normally what happens is that the waste product from the small intestine is leftovers of the food that was not absorbed, fiber, dead cells, other waste products, all come in a very soupy consistency into the colon. And in the colon, most of the water is absorbed back into the body with many electrolytes, and the stool get its form. It is formed, and it looks like the form looks very much like a sausage, like the shape of the colon. What those anthraquinin do is prevent the absorption of the colon and electrolyte in the walls, making the stool softer, so easier to pass, and also putting a lot of pressure down and kind of propel everything toward the exit. So it has the anthraquinin in Cascara Sagrada have two pathways. But those two pathways also are associated with the risk of long-term use of Cascara Sagrada. So it is recommended that you don't use Cascara Sagrada for longer than 1 week or 7 days because it can become in a way addictive. What is happening? Cascara Sagrada don't promote or activate the muscles to produce again this capacity to contract and relax. They do not promote peristalsis. they create spasms. And once you stop using Cascara Sagrada, those spasms will stop. So if you use Cascara Sagrada continuously, you will create weaker and weaker muscles because those muscles will give the entire agency to the compounds and are not going to take back the the kind of they are not going to promote by themselves the contraction, the peristalsis. You take from the body the agency over this activity and give it to the Cascara Secreta, and over time the body just give up on it. So you don't want to do that. The other thing is that because fluid and electrolyte are not absorbed back into the body, you slowly developed electrolyte deficiency, especially potassium, and that is associated with all kinds of electrolyte imbalances in the body, especially cardiovascular symptoms. So, Cascara Sagrada can be helpful in acute cases of constipation for a very short period of time, but it's not a herb to play with chronically. You want to find what the root cause of your constipation are and treat it. The other thing is that it's really good to use Cascara Sagrada with other herbs that can support other type of constipation. So the first that come to mind is simple bitters, because simple bitters promote the healthy peristalsis and the bile production that also promote peristalsis. So doing that, using Cascara Sagrada with chamomile is, or with chamomile or dandelion is awesome. Using Cascara Sagrada with herbs like, again, chamomile, but also fennel that are carminative and really promote this peristalsis is good too. So short-term use with carminative and bitters can help relieve constipation. But be aware that long-term use is not advised. This is from me today. If you by any chance struggle with constipation or with any other digestive or other chronic conditions, I'm here to help. You can reach me up at www.threefoldherbalhealing.com/consult. I'm now offering a 20 minutes free herbal consultation to see if I am really the right person to help you. I hope to see you there, if you need my help, of course. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to listen and watch, and I hope you gain some benefit and understanding of Cascara Sagrada. Wishing you a happy day and see you next week.